is obviously the mindset of the high performer, and I wanted to make this video because even though there's going to be enough of you in here that feel like you're in this category because of what you've done and the success you have, again, it's good to go over it, and then there's going to be others that are on their way there and trying to build up to a certain, or trying to reach a certain criteria, or trying to build themselves up to a certain individual that they don't think they are yet. Nonetheless, this is good for everybody to have. These were actually taken from one of my mentors in the past when I was going through a few things with him, and they're going to come across as basic things that you should follow, but I want to go into more detail with you on this video. So the first thing is discipline. I'm sure a lot of you understand that discipline is very important, but a lot of us, including myself even at times, fall off that track, right? You have to set a routine for yourself and be disciplined with it, right? So just as an example, you don't have to do this. This is what I do, and I found what works for me. I get up every morning around 6 or 7. I go wash up, brush my teeth, whatever. The first thing I do is I literally go and meditate. Meditate on who I am as an individual, and then I meditate on the positive affirmations that I want to bring out to other people. And then I start envisioning that through my business, through my life, through my community, so on and so forth. And I really amplify that as much as possible, because when you can get into a high emotional state like that, okay, and you can maintain that throughout the day, especially when you start off your day that way and you maintain that throughout the day, it's going to allow you to make better choices because of the emotional and positive state that you're in. It's going to allow you to make choices in a better state of mind instead of just making choices from a mindset of lack, or making choices from a standpoint of anger or being upset. So if you're somebody who's even always, or is right now, going through a problem in their life and they just can't seem to get around it, I highly suggest you actually try this. And I know what you're going to say is that, how am I supposed to get to that type of mentality or mindset if I'm feeling a certain way? Well, in order to switch over to a different state of mind, you have to start telling yourself that, and you have to allow yourself to do that. And you can do that by telling yourself small wins that you've already had, right? So if you're feeling that, you're at a stalemate and your business isn't moving, look what you've done up until that point. Start envisioning the wins that you've had up until this point that have allowed you to get here. There are always going to be challenges that you're going to have to come across, but that's what makes you grow, right? So think about how you overcame those challenges. More importantly, how it made you feel, and even more importantly than that, the people that it helped and how it made them feel, and the smiles that it put on their faces, and just those types of gratifying emotions that you spread to everybody else, and also use to uplift yourself. So that's one way that you can do it. The other way is to literally just tell yourself a repeated word over and over and over and over. Now, I know to some of you that might sound funny. To others, it might make sense because you do this on the daily and you practice meditation, or you do just daily affirmations and you don't practice meditation at all. But nonetheless, it's pretty much the same structure. And what you want to do is, just as an example, one that I tell myself, I say, I don't try, I always do. Trying is not in my vocabulary. I don't try, I always do. I don't try, I always do. So whenever I'm faced with a certain circumstance or a challenge, I already know, because I've been doing this for so long, and I start repeating certain affirmations, that I'm going to get through it. It's going to give me an answer on the other side of this challenge. That's just the way it's going to be. And you can do that while you meditate or while you throw affirmations throughout yourself throughout the day, right? Another one is very simple. There is no can't, there's only I can, right? It sounds very stupid, sounds very childish and cheesy, but it works. You have to keep telling yourselves these things routinely over time if you want to start getting in the mindset and start developing your thought process like a really high performance individual that gets and garners results. And it's the same thing for your health and fitness, right? And if you're somebody who's been very successful in your business, okay, or in your profession that requires a lot from you, and you're finding it hard, or you've been finding it hard to do it in your health and fitness, then it's the same practice. You can take the same ideas again that you've done in your business and you apply it to your health and fitness. You know what to do, you just have to implement it, and you have to do it every single day. And the more you do it, just like you did with your business or your profession or your job, whatever, over time, you're going to build the leads, or I should say over time, like you have with your business and your profession, you're going to build the leads, you're going to build the connections that have gotten you to where you have to be and have helped shape the individual that you've become. Over time, if you're repeating this habit among other ones that you're going to do, it's going to build you into the individual that's going to allow you to encompass and become and get the physique and the mindset and the nutrition that you want. So this next one kind of ties into the last one. So it's positive reinforcement. You need to get really good at positively reinforcing yourself. I'm not talking about necessarily lying, okay, and saying like, oh, everything's burning up around me, you know, I just lost a few employees, or I think I'm about to get fired, I just lost this amount of money on my commission. No, obviously that's going to be there and that's going to happen, but positively reinforce a different outcome to that. I may have lost this much money off my commission from this client, but you know what, they were shitty anyways. It opens up the doorway for me to get 2 or 3 other probable prospects that I know are going to be easier to deal with. I may have lost one of my best employees. They were great, they were awesome, they even had an impact on everybody else, but I can take that type of atmosphere that they created for the people in my company, I can ride with it, use it as information that I can use to hire on another individual that was very similar. Okay, you can use the contrast of each situation, so to speak, and use it to propel you forward to another positive situation to get through that challenge, because that's exactly what it is. It's a challenge that has a positive answer on the other side of it if you allow yourself to see that, right? The contrast of any situation is always going to benefit you if you can just push through it, right? And you can pull yourself to the other side of it. Always staying in a state of lack or being upset and just being negative all the time, like I mentioned a bit earlier, is going to affect choices, because when these possible positive circumstances or new choices arrive in respect to whatever you're going through, you might not even consider it because you're in such a bad state of mind. So it's imperative and important to get used to building that structural habit again, to positively reinforcing yourself. And doing that is one thing, like I said, is you can do affirmations, meditations, but also listening to positive people online, individuals that you follow, reading even certain quotes books of certain individuals from history. That's one personally that I like to do, that I find helps me. I just feel like quotes are such a good way to break down such a complex idea or situation and break it down to something so simple that allows you to connect with it so easily and give you positive reinforcement, right? Watching even like videos, positive reinforcement videos that are going to get your mindset right. So if you're having a problem with your business, look up somebody that you know or somebody that you may already follow and see some positive reinforcement things that they've done with their business. Go to even some health, self-growth channels and look at some of the things that they do on there. Surround yourself with a kind of like a digital community, so to speak, when it comes to reinforcing your positive state of mind, because it's going to be dramatic and help you a long way in the future if you continue to build your habit on it. And even on days where you don't feel like it, that's when you have to do it the most, right? Just like on days when you didn't want to go to work, or you had an issue with your business and there were certain fires you had to put out and you didn't want to deal with it, but you ended up doing it and then you were glad you did because you overcame those challenges and it put you on a better path. It's the same concept with this. As a matter of fact, it's actually a lot easier to do. Watching a 5 to 10 minute video is going to go a long way for you. Listening to an audiobook that's going to shift your mindset. Putting yourself in the area of something that's going to be very positively beneficial for you is going to help you go a long way. So one common denominator, which I'm obviously sure you understand, but again, I want to touch base on it to really reinforce it, is that I got back from a number of my clients and also from my mentor, is determination and consistent action, right? When it comes to challenges that you're going to overcome, or even having doubt in your mind before a challenge even arises, so creating a doubt in your mind that something could possibly go wrong, and maybe doing that over and over because of how you are as an individual, or maybe what you've gone through in the past with certain circumstances. The only way you're going to get through that, the only thing that gets over doubt, is literally action, because you have to prove to yourself that you can overcome that doubt. So whatever doubt that you have, okay, whether it's raising money for a certain fundraiser, whether it's going out to find leads for your business, whether it's needing to hit certain targets and goals in your profession, whether it's needing to find certain people that are going to donate to a cause that you have, that you're trying to get going online for a certain business, whatever, and those are very big ones. We can even talk about smaller ones, like having the doubt of not being able to build as much muscle as you think you're going to build, losing the weight because you failed in the past, doing what needs to be done in order to better your health in general. The only way you're going to do that and get over that doubt, okay, is action, right? You have to act. You have to, even if you're not sure what to do, the first thing that comes to your brain, act on it. Try it out. Stay from a neutral standpoint. Don't say, oh, I don't think it's going to happen, because that's going to sway you away from taking the action that could possibly have the answer to what you need to have the answer to, right? You could be causing a detrimental situation for yourself just because you think, keyword you think, not for a fact, you think that it might not have the answer for you to what you want the answer to, okay? So just act. You have to act. Do it from a neutral standpoint. If it doesn't end up giving you the answer you want, then shove it aside, move on to the next thing. But I can guarantee you, from my personal experience, well, more often than not, you might not get the exact answer you want. Sometimes you will, you might not, but you will definitely be put in the direction that will lead you to the answer down the road, which is why it's important to act. And then you have to stay determined. Determination comes from repetitive action over and over and over, and then realizing and achieving those goals that you had. That's how you build determination and how consistency comes into play. And the only way you're going to build that determination and build that confidence is literally if you act. I know this is going to kind of sound counterintuitive in a sense, but you have to act without thinking. Don't try, just do it. Don't have the idea that you're gonna probably make it happen or you're gonna try your best. No, you're gonna go and do it, and whatever the outcome, whatever the effort you give is going to happen because you just actually went and you did your best from putting yourself out there, okay? You have to act, and then you have to act to the best of your ability. And then one other thing with that is if you don't get the exact answer that you want, don't put your mentality of lack in it at that point, saying like, oh, see, I knew I wasn't gonna get this, I knew it wasn't gonna happen. No, because you're gonna stop yourself from possibly getting to the result down the road. And you know, the example of the car and the headlights comes into play, where if you're driving late at night, you're driving in your car, you have your headlights on, you can only see like, what, 4 or 5 feet in front of you, okay, at most, and then after that there's somewhat of silhouettes and shadow that you can see, but there's only so much that you can look at. And if you just keep going down that straight road, eventually you're gonna hit the target that you wanna hit, right? You're gonna eventually get to where you need to be. So action gets over doubt. Determination is built through action over time of achieving and building up little wins and hitting those goals that you want to get, and then rinse and repeating that over time, over and over and over and over. The last one is you need to be results oriented, okay? And this for, well, how I think of it goes back to saying how you shouldn't try. Don't think about trying, just do it. There is no trying, there's getting it done, right? And when you set up a task for yourself that has results that you want to achieve, okay, at the end of those tasks, there's goals that you want to hit, right? Don't say to yourself you're going to try. Just say that you're going to give your best. There is no trying, there's literally doing. Take action. You're going to give your best. Everything that is involved with those tasks that you know that you need to do or can do better, you're going to do it so that you leave no stones necessarily unturned and you gave it your all, so that you don't come back later and try and beat yourself up and have doubt because you think you could have done more, right? If you're giving maximum effort to what you can actually do for yourself, to the most that you can give at this current time based on the skills and based on the energy that you have, then that's all that you can ask for yourself. And as always, make sure you back each other up, encourage each other. Again, this is a community where we all want to help one another. So if there's anything that you do that is linked to one of the things that we talked about in the video, if there are any skills or if there's anything that you do throughout your day that you know helps you, share it. You never know how it can benefit another member within the community and how it can help another individual. As again, we're all here to back each other up and encourage one another. And with all minds working together and working as one, we can always boost each other up and help each other become better individuals. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.